We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Trump talks abortion. Schumer's Israel comments backfire. The economy heads for stagflation and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. The Israeli military launched an operation at Gaza's largest hospital where Hamas militants had regrouped. Israeli military spokesman Daniel Hagari said Israeli troops were acting on concrete intelligence that demanded immediate action in their operations overnight Monday at Al-Shifa Hospital in Gaza City, in the enclave's north. The Israeli military said it took control of a part of Al-Shifa after a 5-hour battle and apprehended about 80 people. Hagari said that senior Hamas militants had re-entered the hospital and were using it to direct attacks against Israel. Israel released a video that it said showed their troops coming under fire from militants at the complex. The Israeli military urged people present in and around the hospital to leave. Former President Donald Trump weighed in on the abortion debate. Reports state Trump has discussed banning abortions after 16 weeks of pregnancy, with 3 exceptions: rape, incest, and the life of the mother, which is consistent with the law under Roe v. Wade. Pretty soon, I'm going to be making a decision. I would like to see if we could make both sides happy, Trump said. While he has not officially announced his recommendation for abortion, his stance on the issue illustrates the changing attitudes and strategies among Republicans. Vice President Harris should step aside, Washington Post columnist Kathleen Parker wrote on Friday, as she called the vice president's performance disappointing and warned she's becoming a burden to the Democratic ticket. While she said she was pulling for Harris to succeed, Parker argued her performance has been disappointing. The Kamala conundrum comes down to this: she was picked because she was black and female, a combo tantamount to job security. Now that she has become a burden to the Democratic ticket, Biden can't fire her. He can't risk alienating his base. Full stop. The seriousness of this situation can't be overstated. Biden's diminishing faculties, notwithstanding his relatively successful State of the Union address, and his increasing physical frailty are concerning, Parker wrote. This is coming from the Washington Post. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu issued a sharp rebuttal against Senator Chuck Schumer, who called for new leadership in the Jewish state. I think Schumer's statements are wholly inappropriate. I think we're not a banana republic. The people of Israel will choose when they'll have elections, who they elect, and it's not something that will be foisted upon us, Netanyahu said. Netanyahu's popularity has gotten a bounce in the polls, which some say is partly due to the Biden administration and Democrats' growing criticism against the Jewish state. Israel's Channel 14 published a survey Wednesday, a day before Schumer's broadside against the Jewish state, noting the chance Netanyahu's conservative bloc could garner an additional 6 seats in the parliament after Minister without portfolio Gideon Sa'ar ended his partnership with Benny Gantz's National Unity Party. Democrats have become increasingly critical of Israel in order to appease the far-left contingency of their party. The U.S. economy is sinking into a 1970s-style dilemma where inflation sticks around, but the economy cools, according to a top equity strategist at Bank of America. Signs that the U.S. economy is flipping from Goldilocks to stagflation have multiplied recently, according to Michael Hartnett, a Bank of America global equity strategist. Stagflation refers to simultaneously elevated inflation and weak economic growth, which bedeviled the U.S. economy for most of the 1970s and into the early 1980s. Goldilocks refers to when an economy is growing at a moderate pace that's not hot enough to stoke inflation. Inflation has remained stubborn even as the economy cools and consumer confidence drops. South Africa is under fire for spending millions of dollars talking to terror group Hamas and sending delegations for cozy negotiations with U.S. adversaries Russia and Iran. Some critics say the money would be better spent tackling the chaos back home. South Africa has the highest unemployment rate in the world, rampant crime, and widespread corruption, which has led to large parts of Johannesburg having no water for 12 out of the past 13 days, and nationally power blackouts between 4 and 11 hours a day. The U.S. helps South Africa gain billions of dollars a year in trade benefits through the African Growth and Opportunity Act, or AGOA. Perhaps the U.S. should reconsider that investment. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.